But I'm hoping that we can do that. And one of the things that we've done, and we can kind of wrap on this, but with the current state of things, right? We came off of this massive boom, record low interest rates and all this stuff. And that's kind of when we birthed the company. You couldn't have picked a better time. But we came out of that, and now we're in, historically low, but overall, these are high interest rates, and the affordability factor for people to get into the home they want, it was a struggle because you went from the land of milk and honey to almost a standstill. But the crazy part about it is you can't stop because there is a huge housing deficit. There's a huge deficit in the county, and people don't understand that. But we could all keep building at the same rate, and we will not close the deficit on the amount of homes that are needed in the area. The problem now is what with interest rates, it changes what people can afford. So one thing that we've done, in addition to our Barndo offerings, which is a really affordable apples to apples to custom home building, it's not it's not the cheapest way to build, but comparatively speaking, it is more affordable than building a conventional home with the same features and benefits. But one thing that we did, because so many people could not afford to build what they needed to do, is we launched a brand new product, and it drops on August the 5th across South Carolina and North Carolina, is SFH Homes. And that is a way for us to take the cost of building and cut it by almost 15, 20% in some instances.
How you doing that?
So what we did was we took plans that everybody liked, and we created a couple new ones. And
stamp them out now.
Yep. And we went in and said, okay, how can we construct this to where you can get the square footage you need, but we can eliminate some of the things that are upgrades. And so we rolled out this brand new affordable housing program. And matter of fact, I'm going to lunch today to try to piece together some of the incentives for USDA and FHA loan requirements for these lower cost homes, because it's great that you can do them, but there's not necessarily a loan program right now for those type of construction. So we're trying to nail all this together, but August 5th, it rolls out. And we will have the most affordable way to build a single family home on your land in the state of South Carolina.
I've always wondered, TJ, why somebody, and you'd have to have some deep pockets, but somebody didn't, get a person in their office. All they did was find a company that was closing out countertops, and you just warehoused them all. And you found a lighting company that was going out of business or having a huge sale, and you bought all the lighting fixtures. And you did that with sinks, and you all of a sudden, and sometimes it wasn't saving you cost, but it was allowing you to get a much nicer product at the price you would have been buying for the regular countertop, faucet, whatever. If somebody had a nice warehouse, it'd have to be a big one, but you stored so much of the things that are required in a home. I don't know. I just always wondered why somebody didn't.
Well, I think you probably do have that on some of the larger scale people.
Yeah.
They come in and buy it out, but they control the inventory and then they control the margin. So I don't know that it gets passed all the way down to the.
Yeah, I bought a lighting store one time in foreclosure. I bought a furniture store one time in foreclosure. And, of course, I just had to flip the deals, make a little money, and move on down the road because I didn't have where to store it and I didn't have a way to manage the inventory. But seems to me there'd be some opportunity to do that. I've done it with light fixtures and just held them all till I built something. But gosh, if there was a website where you could go to find it all with all that you're building, if you could find somebody that said, hey, I got this much XYZ, and you go, okay, well, about what I'm paying for this, but man, it's so much nicer that I'm going to be able to give my customer even something nicer, whether it's front doors or whatever it is.
It's a good idea. I think my team would kill me if I came in with that idea, because like I say, there's never a shortage of ideas, but yeah, again, we're excited to meet the people where they are, and we know affordability is an issue with rates they are. We're all praying rates drop, and if they do, they're going to drop. It just sweetens the pot.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, it has to. But when?
And one thing you touched on, you're right. Sometimes the rates were higher than they are now. However, the rate at which the product went up at an exponential cost did not do that. And one is because of the other. When the rates were so low, they could continue to go up, and people could the rate was so cheap they could buy the more expensive home. But with the inflation and the devaluation of the dollar, it's now, and with the high interest rate, it ain't working.
Yeah, you can't have this and. It's got to be this or. And we got to get back. It's got to adjust at some point. And I know it will, but in the interim, we had so many people that just were stuck. And so we built this whole thing out, and we're excited to launch it. And I'm hoping that it'll provide more opportunities for people in South Carolina and North Carolina and eventually Tennessee to get into a home they can afford with all the size requirements that they have.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in to the Barndo Show podcast. If you're watching on YouTube or wherever you're listening to this content, hit subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And then be sure to check us out on all of our social media platforms at the Barndo Co. Super simple to find us. And then when you're ready to dive in a little more, maybe look around some of our available floor plan options or take a look at the gallery of our work, or maybe you're ready to connect with our team and explore what it looks like to build your dream barndominium, you can visit us online at thebarndoco.com.